Hello everybody, Phantom Claw here, and I'm gonna do a reaction video to the eerie footage that shouldn't exist video that's on the Zaptime YouTube channel. Link is in the description box down below if you want to go, for those of you who want to go and check out the original video. So let's roll the tape, shall we?
How you doing? I'm Callan and this is Flat Cam. Today we're looking at some unsettling videos that can't quite be explained. So hit that subscribe button and get ready for more creepy content just like this.
The video is not sponsored, by the way, for those of you that are going to ask.
There are certain paranormal legends that seem almost universal. Many countries have their own version of the Bigfoot or the Loch Ness Monster. However, there's also a certain type of ghost that appears in the lore and mythology of numerous cultures. This ghost is the woman in white. In most legends about this terrifying type of spirit, the woman in white is described as a pale, sad-looking woman with usually long, dark hair. She's always dressed in white, typically a long, flowing dress. The colour white is often a symbol of purity and innocence. This is appropriate attire for the spirits in the legends associated with the woman in white. Typically, the women in these stories are devoted wives and mothers who tragically lose their lovers or children, and their own lives typically end in violence.
Yeah, that's actually really sad when something like that happens, which I don't need to explain why, for good reason.
Their spirits then roam the earth searching for their lost loved ones. In this video, a group of ghost hunters appears to have captured an image of a woman in white in their eerie footage shot in the jungle. In the dark of night, a mysterious woman in a white dress appears in the foliage.
Oh no, that's creepy.
Her head down, her long dark hair obscures her face. One of the ghost hunters approaches the spirit, his
Is
hands
she
in
gonna
the
grab
air
him?
to indicate that he means no harm.
Is she gonna grab
However,
him?
the mysterious lady slips away into the trees when he gets too close.
Okay.
The clip continues as the hunters once again find the mysterious woman standing eerily among the undergrowth. Again, the hunter approaches with his hands up, but as before, the woman slips away, seemingly vanishing into thin air. This routine happens several more times. The hunters approach and the woman disappears. Who could this mysterious person be? Many believe that the video is a hoax. Still, the appearance of this melancholy, ghost-like entity is chilling. Love to get your thoughts on this one in the comments section below. When the Hernandez family sat down to enjoy a peaceful dinner in their
Strange
home in
entity
Clovis,
caught on
California,
security camera.
they never expected their in-home security cameras to provide eerie footage for their mealtime entertainment. Yet, the family had hardly begun their meal when they suddenly jumped out of their seats to get a closer look at the bizarre entity making an appearance on the video. This particular camera pointed at the parking area outside of the home. At first, it looks like a normal, peaceful night. Then, a strange figure begins working its way through the parking lot.
Oh, that's just creepy.
The apparition could almost be a ghost out of an old horror film. It appears as a vaguely human-shaped figure that trails off as it reaches the ground. The apparition moves quickly, almost as if teleporting from one spot to another, the insubstantial white that makes up its form trailing behind it like a mist. In footage from another camera, we see the family leave the table and head closer to the screen, watching the apparition carefully as it dances across the parking lot.
We got some
They later
doggies.
stated that their hair immediately stood on end as they watched the footage.
I'm actually just wondering what breed those dogs are. That's what I'm trying to figure out. I think one of them might be a Doberman, I think, and the other one might be a type of retriever dog, if that makes sense. And that ghost footage kind of looks like a failed attempt at using instant transmission.
Certain that they were looking at something not of this world. Even the family dog seemed to know that something wasn't quite right, but none of them could explain the bizarre entity that thankfully stayed outside. surveillance is everywhere. Luckily for ghost hunters, closed circuit cameras seem to be great at recording eerie footage created by ghosts lurking in places where you least expect them. This bizarre video was recorded by a CCTV camera set in the ceiling of an ordinary waiting room. The room is full of people, so the woman, who seems to have attracted a ghostly admirer, was unlikely to be expecting a supernatural encounter. The video shows a large room. Several people are waiting among the rows of chairs that take up much of the space. One woman stands at a window being helped by a staff member. Nothing unusual happens until the woman at the window turns away and begins walking across the room. After she takes a few steps, it becomes clear she's being followed.
Ooh, that's kind of creepy.
A strange shadow seems to stalk her, following a few feet behind as she exits the room. The shape and movements of the shadow are reminiscent of a massive bat, but the camera only catches a shadow. The video went viral on Chinese social media, but many claim that the eerie footage is a fake. They point to the fact that no one in the room appears to notice the unusual apparition, suggesting that it was artificially added to the video. However, it isn't unusual for spirits to appear on film, even when the witnesses swear there was nothing there. Was this shadowy bat the real deal? You'll have to decide for yourself.
Yeah, I'm kind of 50-50 about that because on one hand, that could very well be faked because that because that could be the reason why none of the people who are by those seats had not seen it. But at the same time, on the other hand, what would the hospital have to gain to fake that footage for? Because I because I think that might reduce the credibility for like the staff members working there, if that makes sense. So yeah, I'm kind of 50-50 about that.
Residents of a town in Indonesia were shocked and saddened when a woman chose to step in front of an oncoming train to take her own life.
Oh
In the
no.
days after the incident, many people raised questions about why the woman made the unfortunate choice that led to her death. No one seemed to know.
Yeah, yeah. Anybody who's watching this, don't don't do that. Don't kill yourself. There's if you feel like if you're in that state of mind you think you should do that, don't do it. Go and see a doctor. And I mean that seriously. And I mean this seriously, like especially to any young person watching this. Any young person watching this, is please go and see a doctor if you feel like you're having those sort of thoughts about killing yourself because you don't need to do that. You really don't need to do that. Just just take a step back, calm yourself down, and go and see a doctor about because it's like because that's gonna help make you a stronger person in the end for going to see a doctor to help you out.
Reasoning, but obviously some sort of tragic story must have led her to her grisly decision. The people of the town tried to move on. Unfortunately, the woman's spirit had other ideas. Exactly 7 days after the woman took her own life on the train tracks, residents who lived nearby began reporting that they saw a woman with long dark hair in a white dress walking along the tracks late at night. Reminiscent of the backstories of other women in white tales, it seems that the tragic nature of this woman's death has trapped her spirit in the place where she died. In the video, a group of young boys decides to stay out after curfew to attempt to capture some eerie footage of the town's new ghost. The video clearly shows a dark haired woman in a long white dress walking down the tracks just in front of them. No matter how quickly they walk, she always stays a few yards ahead of them. She never turns to give the camera a glimpse of her face, but the residents of the neighbourhood are convinced that she is the lingering spirit of the woman who met her end mere weeks before. Kids are known for having a strange sense of humour. When a child
Boy, a
tragically
ghostly
dies
boy
before
scares
their
Spider.
time, do they take that sense of humour with them? This eerie footage seems to suggest that they do.
How do you know that's a
The footage
boy?
shows
That
what
could be a
appears to be
girl.
a pale young boy wearing all white standing in the middle of a dark road. The
It's
images on the
the
screen are
that looks more
still
like the
until
girl
a
from.
motorcycle
That looks more like a girl to me. Possibly the girl from the Wing film.
suddenly drives into frame. The rider brakes just as the front tyre comes into contact with the boy. Believing that he's just run over a child, the rider climbs off his bike and begins searching the ground for his accidental victim. The rider seems puzzled when he can find no trace of the boy that had been standing in the middle of the road mere moments before. Suddenly, the boy reappears on the side of the road. The rider is clearly shocked and terrified. He lets out a scream before abandoning his motorcycle and running away from the apparition. Children often enjoy jumping out to scare people. This little boy seems to have discovered that it's even more fun when you're a ghost.
To be fair, that's what I would do if I was a ghost.
When a security guard in Turkey was monitoring video feeds late one evening, they saw something that immediately made them whip out their phone to film the screen. Many internet users have watched the footage, but no one can explain exactly what the video has captured. The footage begins with what at first appears to be an ordinary person in a white suit walking onto the street. They meander around for a while, looking almost lost as they move around. Suddenly, the figure lifts off the ground and begins hovering in the air.
That's just creepy.
To make the footage even more bizarre, the figure remains completely upright while in the air, a very unusual position for flying. The figure alights to the ground and takes off again several times, never travelling far. They seem happy just to hover a few feet off the ground. After a few short flights, the mysterious aviator returns to the ground, casually walks away out of range of the camera. Love to get your thoughts on this mysterious piece of footage. What do you think that figure is?
Okay, so I'm chopping out the last one, um, in this count, in this, in this, countdown video on Slapdown's channel. If you want to go check out the original video and find out what the last one is, link to this original video on Slapdown's channel will be in the description box down below. And, yeah, that one at number 2, with that looks like that, we had that figure that looks like it was flying up white and landing back down again. That kind of looked creepy, which you've got to admit that is true. It that did legit look creepy. Hope you all enjoyed the video. Give it a thumbs up if you did. Comment down below, subscribe and whatnot. And until next time, goodbye for now.